What's up, everyone? I know it's been a long time. It's been about a month since I've uploaded something. I've been very busy. I had a wedding to go to. Congratulations, Austin and Shannon. Moving back to Chicago. I'm here again. I'm in my little apartment, so things might look a little weird for a little bit, but I'm moving into a new apartment in about 3 weeks where I'll have a lot more space. So the next 3 weeks, it might be a little cramped, but bear with me for the next 3 weeks. The quality of these videos might be a little off. If I turn the camera this way a little bit, you'll see my bed frame. If I turn it this way, you'll see my door. I'm in my corner. I'm literally bunched up in my corner in my room. And you might hear noises. My neighbors can be loud sometimes. So bear with me for the next 3 weeks. I am sorry. It's the best I can do. I promise it will get better. The Five Bloods, Spike Lee's new movie that's now on Netflix. In The Five Bloods, it's about four veterans, Vietnam veterans, that go back to Vietnam to find their fallen comrade's body and then treasure that they buried there back during the war. A really simplified version of what this movie is really about. The reason I'm going to simplify is because that's all I knew, and I went in this movie pretty much blind. I knew it was Spike Lee's new movie. I love when Spike Lee makes a new movie. I love BlacKkKlansman. I'm glad to say that this movie is very, very good, and I really love the direction of this movie. It's very colorful. I love how it's shot, and this movie's been out for a while now. Like I said, I've been behind on a lot of things, but you've probably heard that the aspect ratio, what he does with it, is really cool. When they're like in present day Vietnam, before they go in the jungle, it's like a widescreen, and then when they go to the jungle, it's like IMAX basically. And when they do flashbacks and when they actually were in Vietnam during the war, it looks like old school film, like really old. So it's really creative what Spike Lee did with that, and it doesn't get annoying. It actually is very stylistic, and I really liked it a lot. I will also say this movie gets very suspenseful, and especially the second and third act. There's one scene that I was sweating fucking bullets. My God, I didn't expect this movie to get so suspenseful, and it does, and it's very, very well done. And in Spike Lee fashion, this movie presents a lot of themes that are very fascinating and emotionally powerful. The main theme in this movie is really, why would you go fight a war that you don't believe in for a country that treats you like shit? Because in the 70s, African Americans in America were treated horribly. And they still have a lot of social injustice going on right now with George Floyd and all the protests, everything. And Spike Lee brings that into the movie as well. And it's very powerful when you think about it. You get a different perspective on all of these things you've been taught through American history, with the Vietnam War especially, and just a lot of different things. I don't really know how to explain it without spoiling anything, but it's very, very well done. It really makes you think. And Spike Lee's always done a great job doing that. That's not just the main theme of this movie. This movie has a lot of other deep themes, like what war can really do to you mentally and emotionally. It really can just ruin your life and make your life a tragedy. And that really is what the main focus on Delroy Lindo's character. And my God, what a performance. I'm not kidding. This is hands down the best performance we've seen this year. I don't know how the Academy will nominate, movies that are in Netflix that don't go to theaters. I don't know how that works, to be honest. But I think it's bullshit if he's not nominated. I mean, fuck the Academy anyway. But I'm just saying, it was one of the best performances I've seen in a long time. Definitely the best performance this year. He just gives such raw emotion behind this role. You can tell the war has really destroyed his soul. And sometimes he's angry, sometimes he's happy, sometimes he's just confused. And it's honestly a tragedy. It's hard to watch. And it's just so well done. And he just gave such a great performance. I cannot give Delroy Lindo enough credit for this role and his performance. And yeah, best performance I've seen this year by far. Spike Lee has a lot of disturbing imagery in this movie, and it's not like through the characters, like the fictional characters, even though there are some parts where it's pretty gross, but it's real imagery that actually happened. There's videos and pictures, and it affected me. I'll never forget some of the things I've seen in this movie, and there are parts where the images just linger on the screen. And Spike Lee's like, no, I want you to see this, and I want this to affect you. And I would look away, and I would, oh my God, and then I would look, and it was still on the screen, and it just really hit me. He's basically giving you a different perspective on war, and what we were taught, and what people do to each other. It really drives the emotional message that he's trying to tell. And I wasn't mad or offended at all by this imagery. I think it was very needed because it really did bring his point home. It really got me thinking about it. It's something I'll be thinking about for a long time. And it's also a warning. If you haven't seen this movie, warning, there are some pretty fucked up things you'll see. I did not expect that to happen, but said it worked. And I'm affected by it. So Spike Lee, you did your job. My only main issue with this movie is I think it drags at some point, especially in the first act. I think it's cool to see these guys finally come together at Vietnam. You can obviously tell they had a great friendship. The chemistry with everyone's great. Every performance in this movie is great, by the way. I need to say that. But you can tell the chemistry's there, and it's cool to see their friendship. But there are parts where it really drags, and it doesn't ruin the movie for me by any means. I still think this movie's great. I just think it could have done like the Irishman treatment, where if it was shaved down a little bit, maybe like 20 minutes shorter, I think it would have been better. Because this movie's like 2 hours and 35 minutes long. That's pretty long. So I think if you shaved a little bit of that time down, the movie overall could have been better. In the end though, The Five Bloods is probably my favorite movie I've seen so far this year. It has some very emotional and powerful messages that will stick with me for a long time. A lot of disturbing imagery that will stick with me for a long time. Spike Lee got his message across, and he did a great job doing it. He presents these ideas in a way that really work, and I gotta give props to him for that. And also, one of the best performances I've seen in a long time, definitely the best performance this year with Delroy Lindo's character. You can watch this movie alone just for his performance, I swear. It's just so great. The Five Bloods is a really well-made movie, and it's on Netflix, so go see it. I'm going to give The Five Bloods a 9. I don't think this is as good as BlacKkKlansman. Not saying it's, like, super far apart. They're pretty close. But I think this movie will resonate with me a lot longer. I will be thinking about this movie for a long time. So that's something you can take away from this movie. I really do recommend it. So The Five Bloods, it's been out for a while now, so if you haven't seen it, you should definitely see it now. And if you do, let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and click here to see more of Dave's Takes.